Oh my god, guys, I'm melting in this car. It is so hot. I've already got Sula. How are we, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. I nearly introed my podcast then. If you haven't already listened, if you like these types of videos, you'll absolutely love my podcast. And I really plug it on my YouTube, really. So go and give it a listen. I've got a podcast called Life's Your Bitch. Someone who followed me didn't even know that the other day, so I feel like I don't do a very good job at selling it. It's called Life's Your Bitch. It's like a self-development and like wellness, chatty, navigating our 20s kind of podcast. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It goes up every Sunday. So go and give it a listen, because I feel like I don't really do videos like this on my channel now because I have that. But I'm really craving doing it on YouTube, where you can see my face. Everyone, if you watch my videos, knows car like videos are like my favorite to film, because I feel like I'm in my own little bubble and like no one can interrupt me and no one knows what's going on. What the fuck, I'm gonna melt. So you know the drill, we're going off to Starbucks. I am on a 1 coffee a day allowance. I mean, I never let myself have more than 1 coffee anyway, but especially at the moment. So we're gonna go get ourselves a large, I think, because like I said, fucking melting. Coconut, pink, acai refresher situation. So we're gonna go get that. You know the drill, park up and have a little update. I've asked you guys over on my oh my god, guys, I always get hiccups. Asked you guys over on my Instagram for questions. I've not even had a look at them yet, so I know that's a lot, or a good few anyway. So we'll have a talk through them. Why do I always film Come Drive With Me's on days where it's like fucking sweltering? Like, I swear, I'm so good at it. The last like 2 times I filmed Come Drive With Me's, my camera has overheated and turned off like multiple times within the video. So we'll see how today goes. It is bloody boiling. I'm gonna let my car pump some cold air around and I'll see you at Starbucks drive-thru. Hi, are you still doing your, is it pink coconut refresher?
Yeah, we do that.
Could I get a large one, please?
Yeah, of course. Anything else?
Could I get extra acai or strawberry syrup in it, please?
Yeah.
No, that's great, thank you.
That'll be 480 next window, please.
Thanks. Should have brought a reusable cup. That's not very sustainable queenie of me, is it? I mean, I don't claim to be a sustainable queenie, but I like to try where possible. Thought it was going to be a sunglass day, but it's not. I just put them on and I couldn't even... I got really bad. I feel like I need to pump my seat up. I can't like see over my car. Oh my god, I feel like I'm literally driving a whole new vehicle.
Do you want a straw or anything?
Yes please, actually, that's alright. Thank you. I am so excited. I don't think I've had it with extra acai before. One of you guys DM'd me that like works here and told me that's what I'm after. Doesn't have like a spare space in it. All the time when I'm in Leeds and I'm up north, I think South's not that different. Like when we're in real winter, I think it's not that different, you know, I'm not that much colder. And then it comes to summer and you realise, no, it comes to like spring, I'd say maybe. Spring, start of summer, and you realise, oh, it actually is a lot warmer. Like around this time, and just like rains less, it's like less cloudy. I feel like it's not that the winter is so much colder, it's that like spring and summer is warmer. I mean, it probably is also colder, and like I said, maybe not colder, just like less cloudy, more rainy, maybe. I don't know. Okay, that's all right, lighting, yeah. We're fine with that. And I'm in like the shade, so I'm not gonna boil, which means I can turn my aircon off a little bit. How are we, guys? Happy, I don't know what day you're watching this. Are these different? Okay, should I do a thumbnail? Tastes like candy. My boyfriend hates sweet things, right? He doesn't. You know, this is one of my pet peeves. You know, people that are like, it's way too sweet for me. I say that. I did that to Gabby the whole entire Bali holiday because that girl doesn't drink coffee. She drinks sugar syrup. Like, this girl was drinking cups of sugar syrup with like a dash of espresso. So I was that person. So that's unfortunate for me to say, but everything I eat, drink, anything, my boyfriend's like, I could never. It's too sweet for me. Like, I'll put Biscoff on my porridge and he's like, oh, it's the morning. I'm like, yeah, it's Biscoff time. When else is Biscoff okay? You can't have Biscoff for lunch, can you? You can't have it for dinner. You can have a sweet breakfast. Oh, guys, you're gonna overheat. You're already hot. Fuck's sake. Let's see what you guys are asking. A lot of people were always, as you always are, because you guys are all lovely. You know, how are you? How you feeling recently? What's going on? What's going on? I've not said that since year 9. I'm doing good. I'm very excited to go travelling on me Holly Bobs again. Oh my god, India's banned TikTok. Someone's just messaged me saying, can you post your TikToks on here as reels because India's banned TikTok. God, the more you know, eh? How am I? Yeah, I'm doing good. If you follow my Instagram, you'll know that I'm having a GP, what I'm calling extravaganza at the moment. So to fill you in on the lowdown, I hate complaining about like NHS services because I just think it's mean. But oh my god, has it been a palaver? And I don't think it's okay, my surgery at home has not been cooperating. They haven't been very nice. But I don't necessarily think it's their fault. Like, I don't want to blame them because, you know, like, they're probably doing their best, but well, they have been pretty rude to me. Anyway, so I had, if you watch the last vlogs, like, I have these weird flare-ups where I just like get extremely hot. My whole body kind of like shakes. My chest feels like it's palpitating. I don't even know if that's a word. And it's really weird, and it happened on the train home from London, and it really stressed me out because I was like by myself. I couldn't just go and like lie down. I couldn't even just like tell anyone. Like, I'd only just got on the train. I had like an hour and a half till I was home. Like, it just was really panicking me, and my temperature was fluctuating so bad. Yeah, and it really scared me. And then I got home and told my mum, and obviously that really scared my mum as well. Excuse the state of me, but I literally go on here and tell you like a 6-minute, 5-minute GP story that you don't need to know. Basically, long story short, Leeds told me GP can't not have you. Ring CCG, just in case any of you have the same problem. Ring CCG and say, my surgery won't take me on. Do you know where that is? And essentially, the CCG rang my surgery and said, you have to take this girl on. What are you kind of playing at? And they were like, okay. And then I had an appointment that day, but it wasn't actually very helpful. But it's the next step. But the next step is redoing all the steps we've already done, which is fine. You know, we move. At least it's sorted now. But yeah, you didn't need to know the rest of it. It's boring, and you've probably seen it on my Instagram. This guy just pulled up in front of me, put his chair into a full recline, has music blasting, is now just like lying down in his car on his phone. Pop off, queen. Okay, I've put you in a place where my camera is going to be in the shade, so hopefully we're going to be okay. I'm sorry about this stop and start. It's not ideal for me either. So, a lot of people obviously asking me about travel, and I feel like it's all I'm talking about at the moment, but when this is going live, either we're going in a few days, woo, or we've been there for like 2 weeks. Me and my boyfriend are going to Costa Rica for a month, and I've tried not to say that anywhere, but the girlies who listen to the podcast know, because the girlies who listen to the podcast know everything about my life, that has been the plan. I accidentally let it spill on the podcast once. So yeah, the girls who listen to the podcast know, but we are currently in Costa Rica for a month, and I can't wait. I'm so excited for it because I don't know what to expect. Like, I've never been to Central America or like South America or anywhere like that, so I just don't know like what to expect. It's been difficult to plan in that sense because we don't really know anyone that's, well, we know a few people. I know like two people that have been, so we've kind of like formed our itinerary from them, but the people we know that have been for like 2 weeks. Like, they've not like traveled it, so it's a bit hard to get recommendations off them just like online, because I feel like not a lot of people like go. Like, it's not like for Bali, for example, you can find hundreds of itineraries all over TikTok. You kind of know anyway where you want to go in Bali, even if you've never even looked into it, because you just see so many like videos on it, I feel like. Costa Rica, not really the same. So yeah, I'm so excited for that. So that's next, and then we're home for a month, and then we go to Australia for 6 weeks, which I'm just so excited about. Like, I can't believe we're going to Australia. I'm so excited. Someone said, how do you cope with traveling so much in routine? I don't. You just kind of have to go with the flow and let it be, and accept that, like, who gives a fuck, we're traveling, as long as you can, like, as long as you're happy and you're healthy and like you can tick along and you can make it work, it doesn't matter. Although when I come back, obviously I stress myself out because I love routine, but I just have to always remind myself, like, it's not that deep. As long as you're getting stuff done and you're feeling good and you're happy and you're traveling and you're happy and healthy, then it's cool. But I feel like me and my boyfriend will probably have a bit more of a routine than like me and the girls did, just because we're quite similar and we both quite like routine. I'm sure we'll probably want to like exercise a bit and stuff. So, oh my god, this camera's already overheating again. So I'm sure we'll probably, and we both like early mornings. So I feel like we'll be up at like 7-ish. So even if we're like going out for the day, we've got that time to kind of like stick to our routines and like do what it is we enjoy doing. Someone said, how are you coping with not living with your uni friends? Phoebe, if you're watching this, because I really miss them. I really miss them too. It is so weird coming home and adapting to like being at home is like the strangest thing ever. Especially for me when I like work from home and my parents are technically both retired. I mean, they're out of the house a lot now at the moment because they're like doing up the house that we are actually going to be moving into. I had a few questions about that as well. We are moving house, like our family house. I have no idea when. I feel like I could come back from Costa Rica and they could be moved out the house because obviously I'm there for a month and it's like soonish. So they're working on that a lot, but like other than that, normally it's like us three at home, like kind of on top of each other all the time. Hello everyone. So yesterday was a bit of a disaster. So I've come back and we're gonna film the next part of this video where I can actually answer some questions for you guys. I don't know where I left off, so if I left you on a cliffhanger, sorry about it. Oh, someone said tattoos, please. Do you guys know, surely you know all the tattoos I have. Should I do a quick tattoo tour? So I've got my sun and moon, which I hate and love. Love strong. Sometimes I hate it, sometimes I don't mind it. This is one of my the rest are my faves. My boyfriend says I'm like a favourite slut. Well, he doesn't say that, but if you've ever watched How I Met Your Mother, when Ted calls Robin an I love you slut, that's how I feel about me saying it's my favourite. Like my boyfriend will point it out every time. I'm like, oh, that is my favourite thing in the whole world. He's like, literally everything's your favourite thing in the whole world. I'm like, isn't that nice though? So when I turn my wrist, this is gonna go skew-if because it sits like that. But when my arms like down and normal, it's normal, but it's like it's this little thing on my wrist, and then I've got this little thing on my wrist. I love this. I actually got this at a Skinny Dip event. And then I've got 222, which was 111, 1111. Then I got my eye. These are hard to show you. And then I've got my new Stay in Love. And then I've got my lemon on my hip, which I can't really get out because I'm in the middle of a shopping centre car park and a car's just pulled up next to me, so that's a bit orky porkies. And then I've got my butterfly, which, fuck it, I'll just get out now. They might think I'm weird, but oh well. She's also one of my faves. All of them are. I think my arms would be like my ideal Pinterest arms if this wasn't here, I think. Like I said, like right now I don't really mind it. I think it fits the vibe of like my fit. Like I actually quite like it right now the second. But yeah, she's a love-hate relationship. Please tell us all your favourite book suggestions. Ordered Asking It Is Given. I love Asking It Is Given. That's like my #1 book recommendation of all time in terms of self-help. I'm loving listening to Grace Beverley's Working Hard, Hardly Working, which is why I kind of wanted to come out today. I wasn't really in the mood to sit and like plan, and I don't really have that much admin to do, to be honest. I need to film. I have a lot of editing to do, like I need to edit my podcast into TikToks, and I just wasn't in the headspace to do that. Like I wanted to get out and breathe fresh air because I've not done that in like 3 days. So I've taken myself shopping today and I'm going to carry on listening to that. I really loved Conversations with Friends. I really loved It Ends With Us, typical. What else did I read on holiday? Oh, I reread Asking It Is Given. This holiday I'm taking Normal People, 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, is it? And I'm going to buy a book about chakra healing, and they're the 3 I'm going to take with me. What else have I read that I liked? Oh my god, Tuesdays with Maury. Love Tuesdays with Maury. I actually need to finish 5 People You Meet in Heaven because I've not got long of that left. I might bring that in my case if I've got enough room. So yeah, that's books I've read recently. I don't read loads. I love reading on holiday. I read like 4 books in Bali, and then when I come home, like after a day of like lots of words and admin and editing, because I'm dyslexic, reading feels like a chore. It's not. I can read and I can read it really easily, but like something about it, I don't want to pick up and like use my brain power. Like I feel like I've got no brain power left by the end of the day. What car do you currently have? I have a 2019 Corsa, white little Corsa. Fun fact, my boyfriend has a black Corsa. We're literally matching. Yeah, that's my car at the moment. I think I'm going to sell her soon-ish when I move to Manchester, which was other questions. What's your plans after travel? So when we come back from Australia in December, I want to grind for a little bit. So we're going to move to Manchester, probably on a 6-month contract. because me and my boyfriend, hopefully like this time next year, will be buying a one-way ticket vibe somewhere. So that's the ultimate goal. A lot of questions about that, like what's your plans now that you're done with uni? I can't tell you how much I just fucking adore my podcast. Like all of my goals at the moment actually revolve around my podcast, and I got a lot of clarity through my tarot card reading, I think, about like my own socials and what I'm doing. And I just don't think I'm really doing stuff on my own socials that like really, I don't know, aligns with me. I feel like I want to turn my own socials into almost what the podcast is, but that feels silly. So in a more relaxed, everyday way. I don't know, I just feel like I've got this calling to like dive a lot deeper into spirituality, because I've been so interested in it forever. And when I first learned about it, it felt like what I was supposed to do. And just like made a lot of sense to me. Like I love things that make sense. I love like logic. And it just made a lot of sense. I want to turn my own socials a lot more like wholesome. Like inspiring people to like find themselves. I hate that. I have a podcast coming soon about like finding yourself. But living for you. I want my own socials to inspire people to live for themselves. Oh my God, that's what it is. So like what traveling is for me, I want to inspire you to do that, whatever that is for you. Like whatever your lifelong dream for you has been, I want to help you like just learn to live for yourself and try new things and encourage people to experiment with life and things like that. I don't know how you do that on social media and how I quite make that transition, which is stuff I need to think about, I think. But also not too much to the point where I plan and don't do. I just need to start creating more like wholesome content like that and like writing more in my captions and stuff. I think I'm a bit scared to do so. Like I don't want people to be like, what are you doing? When did you turn into a hippie? So I don't know, let me know. I want to add a lot more value to my own socials, but I think I'm nervous too, essentially. No one asked me that. You asked me what fucking car I have. Sorry, I really went to laugh then. The side of this lip is cut. I don't know if you can see that. It looks quite ugly, to be honest. But, oh well. Yeah, anyway, I've got Corsa. Don't know how the fuck that happened. Yeah, I think I'm going to sell her in January when I move to Manchester, because I just don't think I'll need her. Everyone's asking me so much about travelling. I feel like I need to. Oh, was I talking about Phoebe saying how you find not living with your friends? I miss them so much. I miss them so much. So much. I'm hoping I can see them all in October, because I won't be able to see them now because I'm only home for another week. How are you liking your new hair? I want to cut mine short too. I mean, the length isn't new for me, to be honest. I actually think I want to cut more off. It's grown quite a lot, actually. I'm loving the blonde. There are some harsh parts in it. Like this part here, where it's like quite heavily blonde. Don't know if you can see that. I don't love this side as much. I just feel like there's parts, like this part here is like really nice. There's a lot of it. And then like this here, like that sits on, like here, like that sits on the side isn't. So like the front is and inside and the back is, but like the sides aren't. And I considered getting more before I went to Costa Rica, but I think I might just leave it, let it lighten even more, and then do it between now and Australia. I can't believe that's my life. I can't believe I'm saying them sentences. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know how much like past me is just throwing up right now. How to get back into the dating world and deal with inevitable ghosting. I have an episode on my podcast. What is it? Oh, my navigating relationships in our 20s. I talk a lot about like dating for you and dating for fun and not letting how a date goes or how someone perceives you affect you, and just like seeing it for what it is. And I think that's the key, really. It's like your cup has to be so full first that they're not pouring out of your cup from ghosting you. Do you know what I mean? So your cup is at 100%. When you go on a date with them, maybe it added that 10% of fun, but it's just like overflowing and that fades out and it's 100%. So when they ghost you, your cup's still at 100%. They didn't take any of your water or wine with you, with them, if you know what I mean. You just have to be so unbelievably secure in yourself that it's inevitable to be like a bit like, oh, that's a shame because I liked them maybe. but the key to not getting upset is knowing that it has nothing to do with you. And I think the only way you get there is by filling your cup 100% yourself first. Good ideas to plan on how to chase your dreams. I feel like chasing your dreams is actually just something you've just got to do, innit? Because I can't tell you how to plan to do it because I don't know what your dream is. But you've just got to do it. So if that means earning a lot of money to be financially stable enough, like 2 of the girls I met in Greece who are currently in Croatia and I was supposed to go, and like I'm low-key gutted I didn't go because it looks so great, but also I would have been so unbelievably stressed, and we all know stressed is not part of my language anymore. They like just grinded for 6 months. Like apparently like all they did was work, like solid, didn't stop, didn't lift their heads. And now they're traveling Europe for 6 months and it was like their dream. So they just kind of like made it happen. Just like, I feel like you just got to do it really, don't you? You just got to suck it up and do it, no matter what it is. There's never the perfect time to do something. There's never a perfect time to do a good thing. There's never a perfect time to do a bad thing. There's just time. So you've just got to pick yours, I think, and just go for it. Whether that's like quitting your job, you've just got to build up the courage to do it. Whether that's going traveling, you've just got to find the means, as in the financials, and then just go and do it. If it's other things do people dream of, running a marathon, just start training and go and do it. Like, the only person that's ever going to hold you back from it is you. And that's a pretty shit fact to live with if you don't do it. 3 goals you have to achieve by the end of this year. I want to have done 2 podcast events. I want to do 2 podcast events in October because I didn't do one in August. So whether that's like Saturday, Sunday of the same weekend, and I just stay in London and do it, or 2 different or something, that's like a big goal of mine in October, definitely. I've got a goal that I'm not sure I'm allowed to say, but let's just say I think it's gonna happen. It's just the logistics of it. Like, I already know it has the means to go ahead. It's just if it works out, if you know what I mean. Like, everyone involved wants it to happen. Balance and routine. To dive into like spirituality more, I think. To really actually genuinely start journaling every day. To really actually genuinely start meditating every day. And to learn more about chakras, because supposedly I've got a calling to do so. Traveling versus grinding for your dream job in your 20s. Like I said earlier, there's no right time for anything, there's just time. So you have to pick what works for you. And I think with this, I mean, I would say your 20s is the time that you're never going to get back, and it's to like travel and do whatever. Like, you've got your whole life to do your dream job. But that's my stance on it. Your dream job might be like a professional sports player, like tennis or football or whatever it is. So really, normally their careers peak in like when they're like 25 in it, and then they can do whatever the fuck they want afterwards, because, do you know what I mean? It completely depends on you, and there's no right or wrong answer. Like, my parents are now retired at like 55 and now they're traveling. I mean, they haven't traveled in a while because they've bought a new house, but like, they're doing it now and they loved it. They went on like a road trip for Italy for 3 weeks. They went to Cambodia for 3 weeks, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is the same life. So whether you do it when you're 20 or 50, you still would have like traveled. Whether you do your dream job when you're 20 or 50, it doesn't matter, because although social media might look like you want your dream job at 20, because that's way more impressive, it actually doesn't matter when in your life you do it, because you're still always going to do it. Like, your life doesn't expire after you're 30, and I think a lot of us think it does. Obviously I'm not talking from being 30 years old, but it's just like the logistics of it. If you think about it, it is actually not more impressive really to do it when you're 21, because I mean, it's hard, because like, obviously it can be, because it's like, oh look, you've done it so young with like less life experience and less time. But have you ever done something, like, I'm so impatient, right? I'm trying to think of an example. When you achieve a goal, so when I hit 100k, I thought I was going to hit 100k like the year before. Like, I thought I was going to hit it about like 6 months before I did, and then I didn't, and it slowed down. But as soon as I hit it, it didn't matter that I didn't hit it 6 months ago. I was just over the fucking moon that it had happened. And then in that moment you realise, what was I waiting for? Like, why did I think 6 months ago was more impressive than now? Because it still happened. This is the same, I'm still in the same life, you know? I hit 100k in my lifespan. Who cares if it was in August or if it was in December? So I think it depends on you and your goals, but you always just have to remember there's no right time for anything, and there's no time you should do anything. How long have you and your boyfriend been together now? We met on the 16th of September last year. So I've known him nearly a year. When we're in Costa Rica, we'll have like known each other a year. And then when we were in Australia, we would have been together a year, which is crazy. I can't believe it's been like a year. I feel like I've known him my whole entire life, but I also feel like he's like just stepped into my life because it feels so like fresh and romancy still. So I'm like, I don't know, like sometimes when I think of our relationship, I'm like, oh, it's still new. And then I'm like, you went through the whole entire last year of uni with me. Like, that is so long. But it doesn't feel like that. But it also feels like we've been together for like 5 years. It's so weird. I feel like I know him and I'm comfortable with him to the point where I feel like we've been together forever. But like, the romance and the honeymoon stage still feels so fresh that I forget we've known each other for a year. Like, I think we've known each other for like 4 months. Like, I still feel like he just asked me to be his girlfriend, which is like my favourite and like most ideal feeling. Like, if you told me that I would like have met this person I feel so comfortable with and feel like they really know me, that like we've known each other forever, but like we still date each other like we're just getting to know each other, like that is my ideal relationship. What is the best piece of advice or quote that you've received or read? Oh, there's so much actually. My tarot card reader said a few things that I really liked. I like the idea of just changing the narrative of things. So obviously that's like the kind of like slogan for my podcast, like just changing the narrative on things that have happened. So she said, if it seems like there's a, so we're talking about like situations, and she was saying you need to step into challenge and see it as like a growth challenge. And she said, if it seems like a problem, that's because you think it's not working out in the way you wanted, but that's you as identity and personality, not you on a soul level. Kind of like look at it from a different way. And I like the idea of when we react to things, that's not us as our like most authentic self, that's our ego and our identity and like our personality, not like us at a soul level, not like us at like who we really are. We kind of like react within this world, who we are like within this materialistic, like material world. I have no idea if that makes me sound absolutely crazy. Like, you can react to things in a way that like environment has taught you how to react, but that's not, you know, even sometimes when you say things and you just think, I literally didn't even mean that, or I didn't even want to say that. I think that's not us. Anyway, other than that, there's so many things. The idea of changing the narrative, maybe, because I think it's just so easy and it's such an easy way to stay happy. It's just to change the narrative. Like, sure, you could, like, I first heard about it in like Stephen Bartlett's podcast when he was saying two people had gone through, one person had, if you've ever listened to my podcast, you'll know this. I think I might have said this in videos, I'm not sure. One person, two people from his work came in on Monday morning. One was so distressed and one had been through worse events but was like kind of calm. Like something had happened to her brother or someone in her family, and now they had like a terminal illness or a terminal problem or something really awful. And one had missed their train. And the girl who had missed her train was in like fucking hysterics because she's just like, everything is going wrong. And the one who, you know, arguably went through the worst event was kind of okay. And he spoke about how events don't annoy you, events don't upset you, your own reaction upsets yourself. Like, you annoy yourself. Like, if someone hasn't paid you on time, they haven't annoyed you. You've annoyed yourself by giving it like matter, by giving it energy, by like letting it do so, by thinking about it and being like, oh, that's really annoying, I really needed that. Like, they haven't annoyed you, they've just paid you late. You've worked yourself up and got annoyed about the situation. And that's probably like, when I heard that, I was like, fuck yeah, that's actually so right. That's actually probably the best motto, advice, perspective that I've ever heard, because it just resonated. Like I said, it made logical sense to me. I like self-development stuff and self-help stuff that just makes sense, isn't fluffy duffy. And I was like, yeah, that's so true. An event happens, and how we react upon it and the energy we give it is how it affects us. Does that make any sense? Anyway, I've been filming for 24 minutes. I'm gonna go and get me holiday bits and bobs. I've got so much to buy. I feel like I'm gonna spend a small fucking fortune. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I miss just chatting to you guys on YouTube, so let me know if you have liked it. And if you did like it, obviously I've got podcasts where I do this every single week, and it's my baby. Yeah, and you should follow the podcast Instagram if you're into stuff like this, because like I said, there'll be many events coming up, hopefully. And it will all be on there first. And I always say on there, where do you guys want them? What do you want to do? So if you ever want to be involved in anything I do in the future, it will probably all be via the podcast. So if you ever want to meet me or come to an event with me, journal with me, go on a hike with me, or just girls who are all into the same thing and guys who are all into the same thing. Yeah, all of that will be on the podcast gram. So I'm gonna go listen to Hardly Working or Working Hard, whatever it's called, by Grace Beverley, and buy myself a fuckload of first aid stuff. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye.